Hey guys, this is Sounds Geek, and this is my review of Scrap Metal for the Xbox Live Arcade. Scrap Metal is a top-down racing game with a huge variety of different play types, ranging from an all-out demolition derby to an escort-type mission gameplay. The single-player experience offers a total of 61 different levels. In order to advance from each level, you must score first, second, or third place, depending on time restraints, how many cars you crash, or where you place in the race. The boss, at the end of each level, you face a boss for his or her racetrack, and you become the king of the track. Now, the presentation of Scrap Metal is phenomenal for the most part. The graphics are stunningly beautiful and up to par with such retail games such as Dirt 2. But the sound is where the presentation suffers. All sound effects are generic, and most of the soundtrack is just generic guitar riffs over and over and over again. The multiplayer experience is actually pretty fun. You and three of your friends can go online and face against a bunch of AI players in races, demolition derbies, etc. However, my main problem with the multiplayer is that you aren't allowed to choose exactly which cars you want. They give you a select few depending on the racing mode you're in. I assume this is to balance the gameplay, but I would really love to be a missile-toting van versus a tank and try out all different types. It seems odd for them to try to introduce a balanced type multiplayer in what seems to be a pretty fun, chaotic party game. For the most part, the multiplayer is great. I've experienced no lag, nor have I experienced any disconnects whatsoever. However, I have had some faults trying to join a match, but whenever I created the match, people got in right away, and it was easy to start and play. The controls are one of the biggest issues with the game because they take quite a while to get used to. Now, depending on which control scheme you choose, it's going to be easy or difficult for you. One is similar to a standard racing type, but it doesn't feel quite right to me when I tried to use it. So I used the recommended easy default controls, and it took me a while, but I finally got used to it. The easy default controls consist of you steering the car only with the analog stick and using the A button to throw items and using the left trigger to go into reverse. At first, this was kind of hard to get used to, but eventually you get used to it. However, I feel that during races, this type of control doesn't suit very well. However, during demolition derbies, it's actually really, really fun and easy to use, especially if you are in a flamethrower car. Overall, this game was really, 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 really fun. It feels like a mixture between Calling All Cars and Twisted Metal. I had a lot of fun with it. However, there are still two really, really major problems with the game, and that has to be the difficulty to get used to the controls and the $15 price tag. Now, if this were a $10 game, I could easily recommend it. But at $15, I'd say try out the trial, and if you really enjoy the gameplay and can easily get used to the controls, definitely check this out. And for that reason, Scrap Metal gets an 8 out of 10.